Salutations, studio heads. Automatic here for Automatic Games. Thanks for joining me for Season 2, Episode 13 of our XCOM 2 series. In our previous installment, Bravo Squad deployed to Kansas City to effect the rescue of a scientist. In doing so, they suffered a KIA in the field. None other than Christian Arnold, codenamed Reaper. And of course, this creates a void in Bravo Squad which we need to fill. To that end, I have been scouring the applicants in terms of those wishing to join XCOM, and I've narrowed it down to one candidate above all others. This man was a former resistance cell leader out of Michigan. So let's take a look at his file.
Oliver DeNoble, codenamed Odd Noble, born Detroit, Michigan, 6 February 1992. A habitual gambler, Odd Noble was the leader of a resistance cell that carried out a string of successful raids in Michigan. His team splintered following a brutal counterstrike by Advent forces. He fled to Canada, bringing valuable intelligence with him. All the while, he has been pursued by bounty hunters and Advent agents. He has an indifferent attitude when faced with overwhelming odds.
And so we, without hesitation, certainly welcome Odd Noble to our ranks. Suffice to say, he'll be falling in with Bravo Squad. I want to initiate his training. And in terms of what school of expertise he's going to focus on, it's going to be the specialist. Specifically a hacker. Now, I am aware that Reaper was a sniper, but I'm looking toward acquiring more hackers as we encounter more mechanized enemies in the future. Now, turning our attention back to the geoscape, we do have a supply drop down in Chile. It's going to be a 5-day endeavor collecting these supplies, and it may not be a whole heck of a lot of them, but nonetheless, considering we only have 23 supplies on hand, we could use all that we can get our hands on. So we'll go ahead and start that. Well, we've cleared out a chamber from below deck, and actually that'll yield us some supplies, so yeah, now those supplies are sitting at 127. I do want to initiate construction of a facility down here, namely, the Shadow Chamber. And that'll help us to uncover some of Advent's deeper, darker secrets. So we definitely want to start that.
Shadow Chamber construction initiated.
And we are going to allocate an engineer to this process. Cameron Cook will do just fine. So yeah, we will wait 7 days for that to be completed. In the meantime, it's back to the geoscape, where we will continue collecting these supplies.
Got an urgent communication coming in for you now, Commander.
You have made considerable progress against the aliens over the past month, Commander. I hope that your ongoing efforts will only lead to further success.
Seems like an altogether favorable report from the spokesman, which we will happily accept. Meanwhile, there are dark events in the works. Viper rounds would give poisonous ammunition to Advent forces, and Avatar Project Major Breakthrough. Well, that's something I want to head off. Okay, it seems like our latest supply drop is kind of stacked with the last, because that's a healthy drop up there in Eastern Europe.
Strategic resource located.
As to the drop in Chile, we only managed to pull 78 supplies from that. But, you know, as I said, we'll take it. We need all we can get. We will set course up there to Eastern Europe and go after that healthy supply drop immediately. Now, I have been considering, you know, we've been watching this whole thing from the vantage point of the Avenger and from the point of view of XCOM, but one has to wonder what the situation on the ground is like. Oh good, we've We've just received word that Odd Noble has completed his training. He's got his haircut and his uniform. That will certainly please Colonel Van Dorn. But going back to the situation on the ground, one has to wonder, are these resistance cells combating with one another? I mean, there has to be a lack of law where Advent doesn't exist. I mean, you would think that that's everything.
I have made a number of interesting discoveries, Commander.
Okay, excellent. Plated armor. This is something we've been looking forward to. And this will allow us to outfit our soldiers with Predator armor almost immediately. So we're going to see a difference in the uniforms. And there's a slew of other armor types that we can get into, and we certainly will. In fact, that spider suit, that's something I want to develop as soon as possible. So yeah, this is altogether a great development. In terms of our next research initiative, I think we're going to focus on the Archon autopsy.
The product of an extensive fusion of both alien biological materials and advanced mechanical support systems, the Archon is an unusually ornate design by alien standards. With an air of authority spurred by its distinctive appearance, I can only assume the aliens intended it to be something of a herald to the other forces.
Yeah, the floaters have come a long way. That's for sure. Definitely a streamlined version.
I was not going to admit it to Shen, but there is one thing I miss more than my lab equipment. Those damn juicy Advent burgers. I don't know where they get the meat, and frankly, I do not want to know.
In our last mission, Bravo Squad deployed atop an Advent burger restaurant. I was almost inclined to have them pick me up one just to try it, but I passed. Okay, we're going to get into battlefield medicine.
Interesting choice. I'll send word as soon as we're finished, Commander.
Battlefield medicine as our next proving grounds project. That'll increase the capabilities of our med kit. Meanwhile, we'll continue to collect these supplies. All right, that completed.
Setting course for Sector
Let's
9,
see. We'll now
Western
head to
United States.
Resistance headquarters. Not for any specific reason, but there's really nothing out there on the map for us to investigate at this time. So while I'm browsing, I want to discuss a little further as I was saying, the resistance cells on the ground. Are they fighting amongst themselves? I would imagine that they are. I would imagine, things are bad. And, there is the order that Advent brings, something which many probably do not desire, and I would not advocate. But I would think, in the wildlands, so to speak, you've got everything from warlords to child soldiers to infighting among resistance cells, all of which are in dire need of XCOM influence. So we are going to initiate construction in the eastern United States of a radio relay. It's a 3-day endeavor. And, excellent. Battlefield medicine is complete. Let's assign a new project. And this, of course, will upgrade our med kit to the nano med kit. A welcome development indeed. And our next project is going to be the spider suit. Definitely armor that I would like to
We'll
get.
Get started right away, Commander. I'll send word when the project is complete.
I'd like to give it to our snipers, maybe squad leaders, rangers, I don't know. First things first, and that's developing it, right?
Shadow chamber now operational.
Excellent. Let's have a look.
Although I'm impressed with the strides we've made in infiltrating the alien psionic network, the depths of their technological advancement continue to leave us one step behind. However, with the enhanced decryption capabilities of this chamber, I'm confident we will find a great deal more information than we had previously hoped.
The Shadow Chamber definitely stands as a breakthrough in terms of our capabilities.
New objective
We can
added.
examine the black site vial and the Codex
New
brain.
objective added.
And between the two,
We are fully prepared to begin our analysis of the material recovered from the Advent Black Site, Commander. With the Shadow Chamber fully operational, we can use its advanced decryption capabilities to analyze the Codex artifact recovered by our forces.
between the two, I'm inclined to start with the Black Site vial. So we'll do just that. Oh, I see. All other research projects will be suspended. Well, that's fine. Gotta do this eventually. And so with that out of the way, let's turn our attention back to the geoscape.
Welcome to the fight.
Well, that's a hype-instilling cinematic. Welcome to the club, folks. And that grants us a bonus under the table. So yeah, that gives us kind of a benefit when dealing with the black market. I guess I'd like to unlock our bonus for South America too. And so, of course, well, that's not going to be Mexico, but let's deploy to Brazil and set up a radio
Setting course
relay
for the
there.
Brazilian corridor.
But again, you know, when it comes to the situation on the ground, I mean, certainly the people that we encounter, they seem apt to turn us in to Advent or report us. As you can see, the spider suit is completed. That's, in fact...
Commander, we might have to do some cleaning, but we've still got room to grow here. We should consider building some new facilities.
Let's go ahead and get into a new project here. Let's see. Skulljack. Yeah, let's do that because
Sounds good,
we
Commander.
would like to
I'll let you know as soon as
skulljack
the project is ready for deployment.
additional officers in the future, and I believe that'll grant us the capability to do so. Meanwhile, we will continue constructing this relay. And even that grants us some supplies. Is that right, or did that cost us some supplies? I'd have to check. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, at the, when it comes time for Resistance to give us
Avenger
a drop,
plotting new
it'll give
course.
us, more supplies. And there's the bonus that we received as well. More advantages when dealing with the black market.
Market is open.
Now, I don't think there's anything here for us. I guess we're just kind of browsing, not shopping. And there's nothing here we can't live without. There's certainly some interesting gear. But yeah, I think we're gonna pass. Not that we don't have the, Oh dear, okay. Well, we've got some guerrilla ops to look at.
Commander, we've had the Shadow Chamber running the numbers. These are the tactical projections for our next field operation.
And there's an added benefit of the Shadow Chamber. It shows us how many enemies we will find during a mission, and the specifics as to what types of enemies we will encounter. So that's certainly valuable intel. I'm thinking between all of these, you know, that would stop Viper rounds and grant us an engineer. But this one here, it would stop the major
Setting
breakthrough.
course for Sector 4,
And that's
Chile.
something I want to do. So we will set course to Chile, and we will deploy Charlie Squad. Charlie Squad is commanded by John Clayton, codenamed SeeJay, who's wearing the Predator armor and bringing the flashbang in a nano med kit along with his hunter's axes. He is joined by Gary Hillsdale, codenamed Bard, wearing the spider suit and bringing along a battle scanner. Also by Dan Richards, codenamed Boot, wearing Predator armor, bringing the Mimic Beacon and the Skulljack. Warren Silas, codenamed Mr. Vane, bringing the Plasma Grenade and an extra Nano Med Kit. Thomas Trumpet, codenamed Titanium, bringing the Plasma Grenade and his Nano Med Kit, wearing the Predator armor. And lastly, Troy Black, codenamed Blackwidow, bringing the Plasma Grenade and of course the Frost Bomb, and he's also wearing the Predator armor. So there you have it, Charlie Squad. You may board when ready.
Sky Ranger deployed.
In position for deployment.
Copy, Firebrand, begin your descent.
A hacker working for the Resistance installed a data tap along the Advent network in this area, and the data they're retrieving is critical to the aliens' latest operation. Recon suggests the aliens are already moving to destroy the device. That data is too valuable to lose, so we're moving in to secure the area, eliminate all hostile contacts, and protect that gear.
Charlie Squad will be deploying on the outskirts of Mendoza. And of course, as mentioned, their primary is to protect a device, a data device. They are all outfitted except for Hillsdale in that Predator armor. Charlie is boots on the ground. And, you know, I say that they're decked out in the Predator armor, but two of them, Bard and Mr. Vane, have discarded their helmets. Now, SeeJay is kind of falling back on his predecessor's methods by moving ahead at the double quick, and he expects his squad to keep pace. He feels like in the last mission that he was on, he kind of ceded control of the squad a bit, and now he's kind of overcompensating for that in the opposite direction. So he's being pretty demanding of his squad, basically telling them they'll be written up if they don't listen to his orders and follow them to the letter. Now we've got 3 on the grid, 1 Codex, 1 Stun Lancer, and 1 Trooper. I don't believe they see our squad. They don't. But they're dangerously close, and probably intent on getting closer. Nonetheless, again, taking a page from Corky's playbook, SeeJay is going to pass them up and continue on toward the objective. Now, not a direct approach. Instead, the squad is swinging off to the right of the objective. At some point here, they'll face left and close in directly.
Let's do this. 10-4.
And one thing I like about these Predator suits is it gives him 2 inventory slots with which to use, which is definitely more preferred than the default 1. Okay, we've got 3 enemies on the grid, 1 officer, 1 advanced mech, and 1 trooper. The officer is doing damage to the objective device. So I needn't say that we need to put a stop to that immediately. But you know, I guess the device has still got a lot of health, so SeeJay wants to take one more opportunity to move a little further and position. He'll get behind this good cover here.
This thing looks ready to smash something.
Is that an environment suit? Maybe something that can't handle our atmosphere?
Those emissions could be toxic. I advise caution, Commander.
Well, I've never encountered anything like that, and we are not clear on what its capabilities are. So exercising caution is exactly what we're going to do. In fact, SeeJay wants Blackwidow to fix that new alien and the 2 Vipers that are accompanying it. Everybody else is going to kind of keep their distance.
I'm all over it.
But yeah, Blackwidow, he's the exception. He's going to move as close as he can without being spotted, with the full intention of launching a frost bomb. The Advent Captain does additional damage to the data device. Meanwhile, the pod of 3 in question gets just a little bit closer. Fortunately, not so close that they spot any of us. Blackwidow, he's gonna move into a position from which he will fire his frost bomb. And so here we go. Let's hope this works. Frost in the hole. Excellent. All 3 are frozen and fixed. Of course, that will earn us the attention of that Advent officer and friends. And so they scurry for position. It appears that the mech went into Overwatch. Perhaps Boot can deal with that mech. We could use Haywire Protocol, but also we could hack. Yeah, let's see what that will afford us if we do hack this Advent device. And if it's nothing we want, then we can still use Haywire Protocol. Well, deception sounds good. That would give us control of an enemy unit. Now, granted, it's random, but it does appear that we did that successfully. So let's see which one we got control of. Hopefully, it's the mech.
We're in.
And it's not. It's one of the personnel in that first squad that we located back in the supermarket parking lot. So what was that? Well, anyway. Do we still want to do Haywire Protocol? No. In fact, we're going to throw the Mimic Beacon, because that'll buy us a little additional time. In fact, we'll deploy it just in front of this rig. And now let's turn to Bard. Let's see. You know, actually, as much as we want to take those 3 out, our primary concern right now is that Overwatch. We want to deactivate it, and that would mean scoring a hit. Which Bard does with flying colors. And so Overwatch is no longer in play. That buys us the capability to maneuver. Titanium will take advantage of that. He'll get in close to this new alien unit, and he'll throw a plasma grenade. Nice. Did some shredding damage and some basic damage in addition. In fact, we're going to have Mr. Vane close in and pretty much do the same thing. Toss a plasma grenade, so fire in the hole, folks. Excellent, and he earns himself 2 kills through that action. And a promotion. As to SeeJay, he is going to activate Run and Gun, and that'll give him a little more maneuverability. As to where exactly he's going, let's see. You know, he'll move up to the edge of this fence.
Running.
And, now he's definitely going to take a shot, inclined to attack that mech. Yeah, we're going after the mech. No joy.
Come on!
Okay, and the unit that we took control of is the Codex. Not the one I wanted, but we'll take what we can get. And somehow, the Advent troopers accompanying the Codex already know that there's something not right with it. Not sure how they figured that out. Damn! Oh, okay, that's the Mimic Beacon. Excellent. So the officer wastes a move on the Mimic Beacon, does good damage though. The mech is going after the same target and wipes out the attention whore. But that's alright, the bullet sponge at least ate up a little bit of enemy attention. Not so with this trooper though, it's taking aim at Blackwidow and yes, it inflicts injury. Okay, so, first things first, Blackwidow wants to take some cover. He doesn't want a repeat of that soldier shooting at him. And he is going to deploy a plasma grenade at this new alien. Ultimately, apparently an alien in a survival suit. But that armor has been shredded. It's no good anymore. So maybe we shouldn't have deployed a plasma grenade, but whatever. Damage is damage. As to Bard. Yeah, he's gonna go for that mech. And he scores good damage. Unfortunately, that mech still has its armor. But we do want to take it out of the equation. In fact, now might be the opportune time to use Haywire Protocol. And so Boot's gonna do just that. He'll deploy his gremlin. And let's see what our chances are. Pretty good. Yeah, we're just gonna move to shut it down. I'd like to take control of it, but that's asking a bit much. Oh, man. We absolutely could have taken control of it, but... You know, I didn't know we would do that well. Nonetheless, shutting it down will suffice.
Half the planet.
Okay, so the mech is taken out of the equation. Did that just say that the officer is mind-controlled? Because that doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know why he would be mind-controlled.
On your order.
I'm gonna go with it didn't say that. Because, yeah, that just doesn't make any sense. Anyways, Titanium's gonna fire at this newly emerged enemy. And he knocks it out. So, sayonara, survival suit alien.
We all saw that thing go down. Now what the hell is it doing?
Well, I guess the alien inside the survival suit is dead. The suit itself is active again. As you can see, Mr. Vane just did additional damage. So this is new. I can't say that we've ever had control of a codex before. Not sure quite what to do with it. I guess we'll have it advance. And I am a little interested in trying out its special move. That big orb, which is called the Psionic Bomb. And we will use that on this officer-trooper pairing. Friendly fire. Okay, well, apparently that officer is under our control. But it may only be for one turn, so we're going to do this anyway. I mean, even, you know, if it works, the officer's going to survive. We'll just have it reload and fire on its own trooper. But yeah, that's something. Okay, SeeJay is going to take a shot at that environment suit. And he knocks it out of commission. So there goes our new encounter. An interesting enemy, to say the least. You kill it, and its suit survives. Okay, the Advent Trooper is opening up on the Codex. Scores a critical hit, but the Codex still stands. The Stun Lancer going in for a close quarters attack on its own commanding officer, but it's a miss. Nonetheless, the Lancer has walked right into that psionic bomb, so that's a plus. Yeah, nice. Everyone inside the radius of that thing took 5 damage. So that's definitely a positive development.
On your order.
Blackwidow is gonna come to this corner, and he'll take a shot at the mech, which is disabled, and this should definitely be a hit. And it is. Nice.
It hit the plate.
So the mech is just barely hanging on. As the Bard, he's gonna fire at the Stun Lancer. And he effects a kill.
No longer a threat.
Boot, he's certainly got his options. He can fire at that trooper. There's another trooper in the distance there. The officer or the Codex. That Codex is gonna regain control of itself soon, so let's do that. And the Codex is dead. Alright. As to Titanium, he's gonna maneuver first.
I'm on it.
And I don't know that he's gonna take a shot. In fact, I am inclined to have him heal. He's definitely not healing the Advent officer. He'll heal Blackwidow. Nice, healed him up all the way. Those nano med kits are potent indeed. Okay, as to Mr. Vane, he's gonna move up.
Move, move, move.
The Advent officer, obviously, we could have him reload. And maybe he can take that mech out of the equation. In fact, we're gonna have him deploy a grenade. This should be a big bang, because the truck may go up as well. And it is. Nice. The mech is gone. Okay, SeeJay. Oh, let's see. We'll have him move up by the truck here.
Heading out.
And he's got a couple targets on the grid. You know what? He's gonna hurl his hunter's axe at this trooper. Hell yeah. Sit down, trooper. And, though the officer is still under our control, it won't be for long. So SeeJay's gonna do this. Nice, nice. It kind of puts him in an exposed position, but even so, we'll take the kills. Let's see. In terms of this gear, an advanced scope and a buff. Alright, not bad at all. The Advent Trooper takes cover behind that light pole. He's gonna fire at SeeJay. It's a miss. Thankfully, it's a miss. Yeah, that's, I was kind of worried with SeeJay being in that exposed position, but you can count on Trooper's inaccuracy to come through for you. Okay, we're gonna have the rest of the squad close in on this device, because I don't know if there's another pod out there or not. So, yeah, it's best to defend our primary objective. And in fact, short of maybe 1 or 2 squad members, we're gonna have everyone move toward the objective. Boot may be one of the exceptions, considering he's relatively close to that enemy trooper.
Seems doable.
So he'll move up. He'll ultimately move up by this blue vehicle, getting into a flanking position, which will hopefully compel the trooper to move. Titanium will also get ready to breach this doorway with Blackwidow. Mr. Vane, he's gonna set up over here next to Bard.
Getting it done.
And finally, SeeJay. You know what? He's gonna continue his string of Hunter's Axe attacks. I guess we're gonna.
5, we've got a line on the target. Move to protect that gear at all costs.
Okay, good. I thought we were gonna miss the show. We did miss the show. Well, nonetheless, he did excellent damage off screen. Damn. And he is lucky, because this trooper sucks. There's just no question. He's had 2 really clean shots at SeeJay. Or at least opportunities for clean shots, but he's missed them both. The Blackwidow's gonna make entry. Clear. The factory floor is clear, or warehouse, rather.
Moving on target location.
Bard will come in behind him.
Scanning.
And as to boot, he's going to take down this trooper, and this may end the operation. Nice. Trooper's down.
Status confirmed. All hostiles are down and the area is secure. Status confirmed. Mission accomplished.
In fact, it does end the operation, and we are en route back to the Avenger. I believe we only took 1 injury, and that would be Blackwidow. Otherwise, I mean, that was impeccable work, just like clockwork. Met some intimidating enemies, but that didn't slow us down in the least. And SeeJay, by using Corky's old playbook, he did fine. Although I gotta admit, sometimes tactically, the situation was rather, well, sloppy, for lack of a better word. But, so was the accuracy on the part of Advent. So in the end, it equaled out. We did just fine.
I wondered how the new gear would hold up, Commander. Looks to me like it's working out just fine.
Yeah, the gear, in terms of testing it in the field, it absolutely passed the test and surpassed our expectations. Both the Predator suit, we didn't really get to see too much of the Spider suit anyways. As to promotions, for SeeJay, I like Bladestorm, I really do. Implacable's awful nice too, but Bladestorm it is. You know, that's where an enemy gets in an adjacent space, and you automatically get a free attack on it. I've seen it put to use very effectively by Alpha Squad leader, so SeeJay wants it too. And for Mr. Vane, it's going to be Blade Master. Because, yeah, again, Charlie Squad's not big on stealth. They just, they get to it. In terms of material gains, we've got the advanced scope. The buff is advanced conditioning, which adds HP. And then we've got several corpses, including this Andromedon. Okay, so that's the name of that thing. And Dr. Ty has the opportunity to rip it open.
Considering the limited resources available to you, Commander, you have still managed to exceed my expectations. Excellent work.
We also secured the services of a new scientist, Dr. Garcia. And so, you know, that's another boon to our resources. Very, very nice. And work continues in the Shadow Chamber, the Shadow Facility deal. Yeah, Shadow Chamber, that's what it's called. And I think that's going to play a major part during Season 3. And I do hope you join me for that. As for Season 2, we are getting ever so much closer to the end. In fact, we've only got one more episode to go. And Unlike the first season, we're not going up against a black site or anything, not that I know of, in the finale. So, hopefully it'll just be a standard mission. I guess we'll see. I do hope you join me for that. This is Automatic for Automatic Games. Thanks for watching. If you like this, and if you are subscribed, I will talk to you soon, friends.